According to a White House statement, the leaders discussed their joint efforts to deter further Russian aggression against Ukraine, including preparation to impose massive consequences and severe economic costs on Russia for such actions, as well as to reinforce security on NATO's eastern flank. After the meeting, President Andrzej Duda spoke to press. I can't say what the topic of the meeting because it was secret, but I can say in general that, of course, we discussed the situation around Ukraine, but not only. The most important thing is that we can confidently say about the unity of the North Atlantic Alliance. President Andrzej Duda also announced the convening of the National Security Council on Friday. National Security Council consists of speakers of the Sejm and Senate, Prime Minister, Ministers of National Defense, Internal Affairs and Administration, Foreign Affairs, and Coordinator of Special Services. Other participants are heads of political grouping having a parliamentary club or parliamentary circle, as well as representatives of club and circles of members of the European Parliament. Meeting also may be attended by former President and Prime Minister of the Republic. According to Constitution, the President of Poland is chairing the meeting. Also yesterday, the US military announced that more 8,000 troops are on standby to support NATO's eastern border. Additional ships and fighter jets will also be deployed. As the Pentagon spokesman stresses, there is no decision yet on the exact deployment of troops.
Secretary Austin has placed a range of units in the United States on a heightened preparedness to deploy, which increases our readiness to provide forces if NATO should activate the NRF or if other situations develop. All told, the number of forces that the Secretary has placed on heightened alert comes up to about 8,500 personnel.
So far, NATO has deployed about 4,000 soldiers in Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia and Poland. The entire force is supported by tanks, air defense and intelligence and surveillance units. As the Secretary General emphasizes, further support of combat forces in Eastern Europe is anticipated.
We are considering to further enhance our presence in the eastern part of the alliance. This could include the deployment of additional NATO battle groups.
Meanwhile, Berlin is following a policy of banning arms shipments to active conflict zones. They have not allowed Estonia to export artillery from Germany to Ukraine. This is a huge negative lesson learned by European foreign policymakers. For several years, Ukrainian policy has been betting on Berlin. According to political commentators, the Russian president's moves are beyond his capabilities. The dispersion of forces, with a shortage of them, may consequently lead to collapse of Putin's entire grand imperial plan before it really gets underway. Western allies are trying to arm Ukrainian military with bleeding-edge weaponry to balance the Russian air power and stop armored brigades. Earlier, the United Kingdom sent at least 2,000 of Swedish-made anti-tank missiles, and recently a second weapon supply shipment came from the United States. It consisted of over 80 tons of weapons, and previous flight brought approximately 100 tons of lethal weaponry.